I've had such a busy summer because one of my best friends, Miranda, and I opened up another business, Clark Fork Yacht Club. So I kind of had 2 jobs this summer. And it was the busiest summer on record for Betty's, so busy. And so I've actually been out of the office quite a bit of late and just got back from, an amazing bike and hiking and driving. Like I have a Montana gazetteer, like detailed map, and I just study it and just take roads. But I keep Vanna White, the main Clark Fork Yacht Club van, at my house, and I use her for thrifting trips, because we're 15 people, we're sitting now, can hold a lot of IKEA bags filled with vintage clothing. And it's really fun to camp with her too. And this is fun. I have this new business idea that's not really real, but it's been an interesting evolution of the vintage buying, that I realized that old ladies need rides. That's what the business is called. Ladies need rides. This came about because this woman called me, and her name's Linda, and she, has been talking about this storage unit, and she's in her 80s, and she can't see, she can't drive, but she's got this storage unit, all this old stuff. She's just been kind of like hanging this carrot, like dragging me along, and finally I go to her place, not the storage unit, she had to meet me first, and we meet outside with masks and all that, and she shows me like a suitcase with like maybe 10 things in them, and they were great, and I was like, cool, good, like if this is what you've got, more of this, then great. And she was like, okay, and she kind of I gave her my price, and she was like, can you do like $5 more? And again, like so much of why I love buying vintage is like supporting people like this, And I was like, yeah, I can do $5 more. So I gave her the $5, and then she was like, so if I give you this $5 back, will you drive me to the Albertsons on Reserve Street? I looked at my watch, I was like, yeah, I can do that. She then for the next 15 minutes, she just bossed me around, told me what to do, and I loved it. She was like, go park over there so I can get into your rig. And I had Old Bitch as my Toyota, and it's lifted, so she was like barely could get in and was like laying like this, like told me she's never worn a seatbelt in her life and won't start now, so didn't do that. And just like we had just like the most fun ride over to Albertsons. So Linda calls me again. And so I go over, and she's got even better stuff, even more, and immediately is like, you look different from last time. Like we have this really weird relationship. It's really fun. So we finish up, and she said, at the end, I was like, okay, great. I have 15 minutes to get to my appointment. And she was like, are you bribable, Aimee? And I was like, Linda, what? She pulls out this like embroidered cowboy shirt, this like 70s embroidered cowboy shirt. It's like perfect, beautiful. She was like, if I give you this, will you take me to the Albertsons on Reserve Street? And I was like, I will be late. No, Linda, I can't. And then, like, how do you even get back from the Albertsons on Reserve Street, like when I drop you off there? And then she was like, you can get anywhere in 5 minutes. Come on, go park over there so I can get in. And before I knew it, there I was parking over on the curb so she could get in. She was like, drop me off halfway. I was like, Linda, I'm not gonna drop off an 80-year-old woman on Reserve Street. So I took her to Albertsons and was 10 minutes late to my appointment. But while driving, she was like, say, do you ever go to Hamilton? I was like, yes, I do go to Hamilton for various reasons. Why, Linda? She was like, well, I have some personal things to attend to before the weather changes, and I'd like to get down there with someone who's clean and nice, and I'll buy gas and lunch. And so Sam and I are hoping to take Linda to Hamilton next week. She's brilliant. She's a strategist. She, rather than taking me to her storage unit and one time, me getting all her stuff and writing her a check, she's like, okay, this girl needs my clothes and I need her rides. And so I think I'm gonna get like 10 pieces of her collection at a time until she doesn't need rides anymore. But then the appointment I was late to, she was like, oh, I have a friend in her 80s who has a great collection of clothing who needs rides. I was like, this is the secret. And so it's so funny because I have this van for Clark Fork Yacht Club that like has a step stool and like, it beeps when you back up. tons of room and space. I'm like, I'm gonna have to just drive these women around in exchange for access to their closets. Oh my gosh, then I got this like letter here at the shop with this like weird crinkly old paper and it said personal on it. And I opened it up and it was this like old card just like apologizing for, it was from Linda. It was apologizing for how selfish she was in bribing me to take her to Albertsons even though I had an appointment and she knew that too. But yeah, what about like matchmaking? Like what about rethinking an economy where it's like, yeah, we have what each other needs, you know? Like my rides, I get her clothes and like, you know, business as usual is death.